Mangaru's Tutoring Services, Mathematics Classes.
Revision 5. You can feel free to pause the video when I display the questions before looking at the solutions. Number 1. Write the following numbers in words. So this is 609,251. Number 2. Write the following number in expanded notation. So the 3 will be 3 by 1000, the 2 will be 2 by 100, the 4 will be 4 by 10, and the 9 will be 9 times 1. And of course we are adding these together. So let's just make a small shift here. This has been moved out of position. Okay. So 46,000, that would be 4 times 10,000 plus 6 times 1000 plus 3 by 100 plus 0 by 10, or we can leave it out, seeing that 0 has no value, and 9 times 1. For some reason this has been shifted. This should really be here, and this should be here. So this is 8 times 1 over 10, or 8 times 1/10, and this here is 1 times 100. Number 3. Round up this number to the nearest ones. So we know that this here, the first 5, is the ones digit. So we look at the digit on the right of it, seeing that it's 5 or more, we are going to add 1 to this, so that becomes 6, and we replace the numbers on the right with zeros. So you can put it as 6 or 6.0 or 6.00. All of them will be the same or correct. Number 4. Estimate the number to the nearest thousands. So is 643 closer to 1000, or is it closer to 0,000? It's clearly closer to 1000. Number 5. Approximate the number to the nearest hundreds of thousands. So this is a hundreds of thousands figure or digit. We look at a number to the right of it, check to see if it's 5 or more. It is, so we must then add 1 to this 9, but 9 plus 1 will give us 10, so that will really give us 20. Right, so anytime we have 9 and we're adding 1, it really comes like the 1 is going over to the digit on the left, and we replace all the digits on the right with zeros, so this becomes 2 million. Number 6. State the place value of the underlined digit. So this 1 is 1/10, so it's in the tenths position. Number 7. State the value of the underlined digit. So the 6 is 0.6 or 6 over 10. Number 8. Circle the composite numbers and underline the prime numbers. So 1 is a unique number. It's neither prime nor composite. So these are your prime numbers, and these are your composite numbers. Right, so let's just recap what are prime numbers. Prime numbers are numbers that only has 2 factors, 1 and itself. The composite numbers has more than 2 factors. So we know that 9 will have the factors 1, 3, and 9. 7 will only have the factors 1 and 7. Number 9. Put the following in descending order. So what I recommend is we put all of them in the same form or format, so we could convert all of them to percentage, or all of them to decimal, or all of them to fractions. So what I have done here is I put all of them as decimals. So we know 45% is 0.45. We know half is 0.5. And we know 0.4 is 0.4. So since this first one here has 2 decimal places, we put the rest of them as 2 decimal places. So we just added a 0 here, and we added a 0 here. Adding a 0 at the end of a decimal number doesn't change the value of the number. So now we can look at these and compare them. So we know that descending order is biggest to smallest. So it would be this, then this, then this. And then we have to put back the answer in its original form. So that would be half, then 45%, then 0.4. Part B. Put the following in ascending order. So that's smallest to biggest. So the smallest number will be 0.1, followed by 0.5, then 1.5, and 5.1. So again, feel free to pause the video and make your own attempt before I show you my solutions. Number 10. Draw parallel lines and perpendicular lines. Circle the shape that has a uniform cross-section. Match the solids to their properties. So the triangular based pyramid has this here. The cone would be this. The triangular prism will be this. And the cylinder will be this. Number 13 to 15. Please pause and attempt the questions. Number 13, we have 2 sides being equal, so that's an isosceles triangle. 3 sides being equal, so that's equilateral triangle. And 3 sides being different, so that's a scalene triangle. So please practice your spelling. I see persons get these words wrong sometimes. Number 14. So we are matching the quadrilaterals with their properties. So the trapezium has 1 pair of parallel sides. The rhombus has 4 equal sides and no right angles. The square has 4 lines of symmetry. And the parallelogram has the following properties. Number 15. 8 sides octagon, 5 sides pentagon, 7 sides heptagon or septagon, and 6 sides hexagon. Number 16. How many quarter turns are there from north to west? If we're moving in a clockwise direction. So north to west in a clockwise direction. So that would be 1 quarter turn, 2 quarter turns, 3 quarter turns. B. How many quarter turns are there when moving from south to east in an anti-clockwise direction? So anti means opposite. So opposite to the clockwise direction will be this direction. So we're moving from south to east. So that's this direction. So that's 1 quarter turn. 17. How many quarter turns do you make going from A to B using the path shown? And of course the direction that is shown from A to B. So this is 1 quarter turn. So we're not using this corner here as a quarter turn because we didn't go around this side. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 18. State if the angles are less than, more than, or equal to a quarter turn. So this one is less than, this is an acute angle. This one is equal, this is a right angle. This one is more than, it's an obtuse angle. And this one is more than, it's a reflex angle. Here we have some lines of symmetry questions. Draw in the lines of symmetry. So here we can see we have 4 lines of symmetry. For the pentagon, for all regular polygons, the number of sides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will also be equal to the number of lines of symmetry. So if there are 5 sides, there will be 5 lines of symmetry. Here we have an oval which has 2 lines of symmetry, an isosceles triangle which has 1 line of symmetry, 1 line of symmetry, and a circle has an infinite number of lines of symmetry. So I believe you can use this sign as well. This is the infinity sign. Complete a shape given the line of symmetry AB. So one of the ways in which we can do this is we can count how far each corner is from the mirror line or line of symmetry. So the first point will be 2 blocks away, so we can come here and put it 2 blocks away. The next point would be 1 block away, so we come here and put it 1 block away. So we continue doing that and we plot all of our points, and then we can connect the points. Number 21, we have some pattern questions. So this first one we have triangular numbers. So we can see we have 1 here. We start with 1 row, then we go to 1, 2 rows, where we increase the amount by 1 in the layer or the row below. So we have 1, and 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, then of course 4 will come below, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 below. Right? And they may give you one where we have the numbers instead of the shape. So this is 1. Then we add up this. 1 and 2 is 3. And then 3 and 3 is 6. Then this is 10. Then 15. B. These numbers are squared numbers. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared, which is 2 times 2, is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared, 16. 5 squared, 25. And 6 squared, 36. C. So we're seeing that the numbers are increasing here by 1, then by 2, then by 3, 4, and 5. So we are going to add accordingly. So we see the trend. So here we have plus 5. So next we will have plus 6. 35 plus 6 is 41. And then 41 plus 7 is 48. So this is, of course, an addition pattern. Number 7. We have a core pattern. So we have these shapes repeating over and over. So we count the amount in the core pattern, which is 4. And they asked us for the 49 shape. So we divide 49 by 4. We get 4 into 4 is 1. 4 into 9 is 2. Remainder 1. So the remainder is most important. So we come from here and we start from the beginning, and 1 is the remainder, so this would be the shape. If the remainder was 3, then of course Number 22. State the value of the point B. So point B is the midpoint of A and C. So let me give you a simple example of how we can understand this. If I give you two numbers, 7 and 9, and I ask you what is in the middle of 7 and 9, you would tell me 8 because this is easy. But if it was not that easy, that we can work it out mentally, here's how we can do it. We add the two numbers, 7 plus 9, which is equal to 16, and then we find halfway, or half of rather, 16, which is really halfway between the 2 points, 7 and 9. So half of 16 is 8. Right? So another way we can say it is 16 divided by 2. So if we work with fractions, we add the two fractions and multiply it by a half. So let's see how that works. So the two fractions, we add them together. So we're going to convert 3/8 to 16ths. So 3/8 will be 6 over 16. If we multiply on top by 2 and below by 2, we get 6 over 16. We add these two together, we get 16 over 16, and then we multiply it by half. So we get 8/16, which is also equal to 1/2. So there are more than one ways we can put the answer. All of these are equivalent fractions. So whether you put half, 8/16, or 4/8, or any fraction that is equal to a half, it would be correct. 23. Find the value of x. So we started off with some number, x, and we did all of these operations. We added 4, then multiplied by 3, and we got 45. So we're gonna do the reverse working. So instead of multiplying by 3, we want to divide by 3. So 45 divided by 3 is 15. So we get 15 here, and then 15. Instead of adding 4, the reverse or opposite will be to subtract 4. So we get 11. So 11 is the answer. 24. 21 plus 6 squared is equal to this. So we want to find what is 6 squared, which we should know are squared numbers. 6 squared is 36. So 21 plus 36 is 57. The square root of 100 is 10. So this is equal to this. So 57 is equal to 10 plus some number. So we can simply subtract 10 because here we have add 10. And we get 47. We know 47 plus 10 is 57, so this is equal. So next we have b. So we have two numbers being multiplied, and then we separate it into two parts. 25 by 20, and then 25 by. So we keep one of the numbers the same, and we are splitting the other number into two parts. So 20 and 3 will give you 23. So 3 is the answer. C is similar. We have one number remaining the same, 10, and then we have another number which we broke into two parts, 2 and 30. That will give you 32. So your answer is 32. Four numbers have an average of 12. What is the sum of the four numbers? So when given the amount of numbers and the average, we multiply them to get the total. Number 26. 4 hours, an average of 35 parcels was packed. In 5 hours, we have an average of 40. So let's find the total for the 4 hours, which would be 35 times 4 is 140. Right, remember we said average times amount of numbers will give you the total. And similarly for the total of the 5 hours, we'll have 5 times 40. So the 5 numbers subtract the 4 numbers will give you the amount in the 5th package. And that will be 60 parcels. Number 27. A restaurant seats 55 persons, 5 two-seater, so that's 10 seats, and the rest, no, we have 6 four-seaters, sorry, so that's 6 fours are 24, so that's a total of 34 persons, or 34 seats so far, and then we have some 3-seaters. So how many 3-seaters? So let's take the total 55, subtract the amount of seats for the 2-seater and 4-seater. So that would be 55 minus 34 is 21. So 21 remains for the 3-seater. So we divide 21 by 3, and that will give us 7. So that's 7 3-seater tables. Number 28. Abby is 8 years old in 2009. In what year was Abby born? So, when given someone's age in a particular year, we simply subtract their age from the year to get their date of birth or year of birth. So, Abby was born in 2001. Part B, in 2020, Abby's mom is twice her age. So let's determine Abby's age in 2020. So 2001, her date of birth, till 2020 is 19 years. So she's 19 in 2020 and her mom is twice her age. So that's 38 years. Her mom is 38 years in 2020. So 2020 take away 38 will give us 1982, her mom's year of birth. So now we have some money questions. Determine the total amount of money. So here we have 150, 170, 180, 185, 186. So we have that. The coins, we have 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, 100, 110, 120. So $186 plus 120 cents. 120 cents is equal to $1.20. We'll get a total of $187.20. What is the least amount of dollar notes needed to get exactly $89? So we'll use a $50 note, a $20 note, $10, $5, and 4 $1 notes. So in total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notes. And what is the least amount of coins needed to make 95 cents? The 25, 50, 75, 85, 95. So that's 5 different or 5 individual coins. 30, we have a Best Buy question. So we are going to find the unit price or the price of one muffin by vendor A and compare it to the price of one muffin by vendor B. So once we have the price for the same amount of items, then we can compare the prices. So 625 divided by 5 will give us 125. So 5 into 5 is 1, 5 into 6 is 1, remainder 1. 5 into 12 is 2, remainder 2. and 5 into 25 is 5. So one muffin is $1.25 at vendor A, and by vendor B, we have 5 muffins for $4. 4 into 4 is 1, 4 into 5, 1, remainder 1, 4 into 12 is 3, 4 into 0 is 0. So by vendor B, we have the same muffin for $1.30. So vendor A is the more affordable or cheaper or better option. Number 31. We need to determine if a profit or loss was made and what was the loss or profit. So $24 for the dozen eggs. It was sold for $24. It was purchased at a discount of 25%. Right, so let's go back to this. So the vendor is purchasing the eggs for $24. He's getting a discount, and then he's reselling it for $3 each. So the discount, 25%, which is really a quarter, of $24 is $6. So total takeaway discount will give you the cost price that that's how much he paid for the items, and then he's selling the items at $3 for one, and they are 12, so that's $36. So he's selling them for more than he paid for them. So since the selling price is higher than the cost price, a profit was made. So how much profit exactly? Selling price take away cost price will give you profit. 32. Chris bought at least one of each of the items below. His total was $28.50. How much of each item did he buy? So one way we have a hint here. 50 cents. The only item that has cents is the biscuit. So it has to be 2 biscuits, because 2 biscuits will give you a remainder in cents of 50 cents. So 2 biscuits, we can say, well, 2 times 125 is 250. We can take that away from the total and then work with the remainder. So 28.50 take away 250, and we remain with $26. And then we can see how we can get $26 from these two numbers. So one combination is 5 waters will give you $20 or cost $20, and then 3 chips. Right, the only way we can get the 6 and the $26 remaining would be to use 3 times 2 is 6. So that's how we can work out this 3 chips. We know how to work out 2 biscuits, and then the remaining $20 would be 4 times 5 is 20. So that wasn't hard. Number 33. How many people have snakes as pets? So let's begin by filling out the table. So here, this is how we write 12 as a tally, 9 and 5. So what we must do to determine snake is to add these numbers up. When we do that, we get 49, and take it away from the total, and we get 1. So 1 for snake. 34. What is the modal number of siblings? So I'll give you an example of what is wrong before we go through the answer. So if we had 5 students having 0 siblings, it doesn't mean that 5 would be your answer, because you're seeing 5 here and here. Why? Because 5 is for the number of students, not the number of siblings. So the most frequent or most popular number of siblings would be 2. Two has the highest number of students. So So 7, what is the modal number of siblings? 2 will be the modal number of siblings, right? Because it has the highest number. What percentage of the students have more than 2 siblings? So more than 2 would be 3 or 4 or more. So that will be 3 students plus 5 students is 8 students. So 8 out of the total, when we add these numbers together, we will get 20. So 8 out of 20, if we multiply this by 100, we'll get 40%. Right? Cancel 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. 2 into 2, 1. 2 into 8, 4. 4 times 10 is 40. 40%. Right, so we now have some questions on evenly spaced objects. At least that's what I call it. 20 flags are placed around the perimeter of a square field. They are spaced 2 meters apart. That should be equally spaced or evenly spaced. What is the perimeter of the field? So 20 flags or 20 objects around the perimeter means that there are 20 spaces. We know that one space is 2 meters, so the combination of the spaces going around will help you to determine the perimeter. So all the spaces will combine to give you the perimeter. So 20 spaces times 2. If you go with the formula, the perimeter, or the total length, is equal to the number of spaces times the spacing, which is 20 times 2, which is 40 meters. What is the length of one side of the field? So remember, it's a square. They told us it's a square. The perimeter of a square is 4 times side. So we know that the perimeter is 40 meters. So we'll divide 40 by 4 for the 4 sides to get one side. So the answer is 10 meters. Number 36. There are 15 palm trees along the shore of a beach. How many spaces are there between them? So for equally spaced objects, that's not in a perimeter. So this one is different. It's going along a line or the shore. Then the number of spaces is equal to the number of objects minus 1. So that will be 15, take away 1 is 14. So that's 14 spaces between the trees. Number 37. So we have 4 meter length cars spaced out equally. So we have 1, 2, 3 spaces. So we must divide the total distance by this remaining space here. So if we add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, that's 16. So you want to take away 16 from 25 to find this remaining total space here. 25 minus 16 is 9. And then we divide this here, which is 9. We divide it into 3 parts because we have 3 spaces. And that will give us the distance or the length of each space, which is 3 meters. So for equally spaced objects that's not in a perimeter, remember, the number of spaces is equal to the number of objects. So we know there are 4 objects, so there will be 3 spaces between them. 1, 2, 3. The total length of all the cars is equal to 4 meters for 1 car by 4 cars, 16 meters. The total length of all the spaces would be this length here, take away the length of the cars, which is 25 minus 16, which is 9. So we divide the total length for the 3 spaces by the amount of spaces, and we get 3 meters. So spacing is equal to total length divided by the number of spaces. Number 38. Street poles are evenly spaced 2 meters apart along the entire length of a road. So again, these are objects not in a perimeter. So that's it. The two main types is in a perimeter or not in a perimeter. The road is 30 meters long. So total length is 30 meters. How many street poles are there? Okay, so we can begin by working out the number of spaces and then add 1 to it to get a number of objects, or in this case poles. So the number of spaces between the street poles is the total length which they gave us divided by the spacing which they also gave us, and that's 15. So that's 15 spaces between the trees, so 15 plus 1 is 16 street poles. So here we have some fractions questions. I have some unequal sharing questions as well. 2/3 of Ken's money is $80. What is 50% of Ken's money? So let's begin by finding Ken's total amount of money. So one of the ways we can do that is by flipping the fraction. So when we have a fraction is equal to an amount, we can flip the fraction and multiply it by the amount it is equal to get a total. 2 into 2 is 1, 2 into 8 is 40. 3 times 40 is 120. And then, now that we have the total, we can find 50%, which is half. We can find half of it, which is $60. Number 40. A bag contains different kinds of fruits. 3/8 are oranges and 3/10 of the remainder are Portugals. The rest are mangoes. If there are 28 mangoes in the bag, how many fruits are there in total? So please note they did not give you a total. So we will begin by working with fractions until we determine what fraction is mangoes, because they give us the amount for mangoes. So if we are not given the total but an amount, which we check to see, or we work out the fraction that will match that amount, and then we can get a total and any other fraction from there. So let's begin. 3/8 are oranges and 3/10 of the remainder are Portugals. So in order to find a fraction of the remainder, we must first find the remainder. So 3/8 are oranges, so 1 whole take away 3/8 will give you the remainder, which is 5/8. 3/10 of the remainder will give you Portugals. So 5 into 5, 1, 5 into 10 is 2. So 1 times 3 is 3 over 2 times 8 is 16. So Portugals is 3/16. Right, so we have oranges and Portugals. The rest are mangoes. So oranges plus Portugals will give you 9/16. 3/8 is equal to 6/16, and we add them to get 9/16. So 1 whole, so when thinking about the total, if we're working with fractions, the total is 1. So 1 whole, or the total, take away 9/16 will give you 7/16. So mangoes is 7/16, and it told us mangoes is equal to 28. So when given a fraction is equal to an amount, we can find the total by flipping the fraction and multiplying it by the amount it is equal to. 7 into 7 is 1. 7 into 28 is 4. 16 times 4 is 64. So we have a total of 64 fruits. Number 41. A father gave his kids money at an outing to the mall. From a total of 5,000, he kept 2,000 and gave his daughter 600 more than his son. How much money did his son get? So let's take away the amount that he kept to see the amount that was shared. So 5,000 take away 2,000 is 3,000. That's easy. We can work that mentally. And now, I classify this as unequal sharing type 1. So the amount that is more or less, we want to subtract that first. So we get 2,400. Then we divide 2,400 by the amount of persons. We are dividing it between. So that's 1,200. So 1,200 will be for his son. And if we had to work out his daughter, we would add the 600 that we subtracted. So Ariel and Kent are collecting shells on the beach. Ariel finds twice the amount that Kent did. In total, they collected 78 shells. So here we have an unequal sharing between the two persons, or an unequal amount. So what we do, we determine, or we check to see who is getting less. So we know that Ariel has twice the amount, so Kent has less. So we can put Kent, we can use K for short, is equal to box. And since Ariel is twice the amount, we can put 2 boxes or 2 times box. So that's a total of 1 plus 2 is 3 boxes, or we could write that as 3 times box. So 3 boxes is equal to 78. So we're going to work in reverse. So instead of multiplying by 3, we are going to divide by 3 to get the answer. So 1 box, or Kent, is equal to 26. And Ariel is twice that amount, which is 52. So 26 and 52 shells. 43. 3 friends are picking mangoes from a tree. Will picked 5 more than Eric, and Eric picked 6 more than John. So we can take a look and try to determine who got the least amount. So Will picked more than Eric, so definitely not Will. And Eric picked more than John, so not Eric either. So John has the smallest amount. So we can put John equal to box since he has the least. Eric has 6 more than John, so box plus 6. And Will, this is where some persons get it wrong. So Will has 5 more than Eric. So some persons make the mistake and put box plus 5. But it's not 5 more than John. It's 5 more than Eric. So we put Eric's amount first and then add 5 to it. So the next step is to find the total. So to find the total, we're going to add the different persons' amount. So 1 box for John, box plus 6 for Eric, and box plus 11 for Will. So that's a total of 1, 2, 3 boxes, and then 6 plus 11 is 17. Now they gave us a total as 131. So the 3 boxes plus 17 is equal to 131. So we are going to work in reverse, or backwards as some persons say. So 131, instead of adding 17 here, we're going to take away 17. So that's 114. And instead of multiplying by 3, we are going to divide by 3. So 114 divided by 3 is 38. Right? 3 into 3 is 1. 3 into 11 is 3. Remainder 2. 3 into 24 is 8. So box is 38. We know John is equal to box, so John's amount is 38. And then Eric got 6 more, so that's 44, and Will got 11 more than Eric, so that's 49. Number 44. Logan has 45 plants, Scott 50, and James 22. How many plants must Logan and Scott give to James so that they would all have equal amounts? So what we can do is add everybody's amount and then divide it into 3 to see how much each person is supposed to get if the shares are equal. So we add these numbers together, we get 117. We divide 117 by 3, we get 3 into 3 is 1, 3 into 11 is 3, remainder 2, 3 into 27 is 9. So everyone's supposed to get 39. However, Logan has more than 39, so we subtract to see how much he needs to give to James and there's a mistake there. Logan has, right, so this here is supposed to be Scott. That's a mistake there. This should be Scott. Right, so 50, James has 50 minus the amount he's supposed to have will give you the extra that he has that he can give to Scott. Sorry, I mean give to James. Right, so the two answers are for Logan 6 and for Scott 11. Units and measurements, area and perimeter. Okay, so number 45, we want to convert 220 centimeters to meters. In order for us to go from centimeters to meters, we want to divide by 100. How do we divide by 100? We can simply shift the decimal point 2 places to the left, so it becomes 2.2. In order to go from meters to centimeters, we want to multiply by 100, which simply means to shift the point 2 places to the right, so it becomes 30 centimeters. To go from kilometers to meters, we must multiply by 1000, which means to shift the point 3 places to the right, so it becomes 1500 meters. To convert from meters to kilometers, we must divide by 1000, which means to shift the point 3 places to the left. To convert from liters to milliliters, we multiply by 1000, which means to shift the point 3 places to the right. When changing from kilograms to grams, we must again multiply by 1000, which means to shift the point 3 places to the right. To convert to from grams to kilograms, we must divide by 1000, which means to shift the point 3 places to the left. Number 46. So for this one, we have to use our imaginations. How many cubes are there in total? So the top layer, or the top square, we can see it's 1. The middle square is comprised of 1, 2, 3, 4 in front and 4 behind. So that's 8 unit cubes. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cubes. And we have 1, 2, 3 layers of 9. So that's 9 3s are 27. So when we add these together, we'll get 36 unit cubes. State the exact length of the pencil. So we can say the length of any item will be the end point, which is this here, take away the start point. So that is exactly 7.5 take away 3, which is 4.5 centimeters. So remember to put your units. Number 48. Calculate the area of the grass. So the grass is a green area. Tiles. Okay, so let's start by calculating the area of the grass. So we know inside here is 10 by 10, it's a square pool. So on the left we have 8 meters this way and 8 meters this way. So that's 8 plus 8 is 16 and 10 is 26. So this length here is 26. Here is 10, here is 4, that's 10 and 4, 14, plus 4 is 18. So the width of the field is 18 meters. So 18 by 26 will give us 468 meters squared. We know that the pool is 10 times 10 is 100. So if we take away the pool from the total area, we will remain with the green only, or the lawn only. So 468 minus 100 will give us 368. So that's the answer for A. They told us that the area of one tile is 2 meters by 1 meter, which is 2 meters squared. So how many of these can fit in the lawn area? So we want to replace the lawn with tile. So 368 divided by 2 will give you 184. So that's 184 tiles. So now we have some time questions and rate questions. So a quarter is the same as 5 over 4. So 5 over 4, to convert from hours to minutes, we multiply by 60. 4 into 4 is 1. 4 into 60 is 15. 15 times 5 is 75 minutes. Minutes to hours, we divide by 60. So we can cancel 1 and 0 on top with 1 and 0 below. 15 divided by 6. So we can say 6 into 6 is 2. Sorry, 6 into 6 is 1. 6 into 15 is 2. So that's 2 with a remainder of 3. We put the 3 back over the 6 because we divided by 6. 3 into 3 is 1. 3 into 6 is 2. So that's 2.5 or 2.5 hours. Number 50. What is the correct time? So the clock is 10 minutes slow. So we must add 10 minutes to get the correct time. So that will give us 12:20 p.m. For a fast clock, we must subtract the fast time to get the correct time. So 11:15 take away 20. So 15 cannot take away 20, so we need to borrow from the hours. 12 take away 1 is 11. We are not carrying across 1. We are carrying across 60 minutes. So 60 plus 15 is 75. And now 75 take away 20. And that will give you 45. So that will be 11:45. So notice we subtracted the whole minutes number by this entire minutes number, not one digit at a time. We need to complete the schedule. So 8:15 to 8:45 is how many or how much time. So what we need to do is say end time take away start time to get the duration or elapsed time. 45 take away 15 is 30, so that's easy, 30 minutes. B, we have the start time, we have the duration. To get the end time, we want to add the start time to the duration. So 45 plus 40 is 85, but we can't put 85 here because that would be wrong. The highest number could go in minutes is 59. So let's take the 85 and break it into hours and minutes. So if we subtract 60, which is 1 hour, we get a remainder of 25. So we put the 25 here and we add the hour here. So that will give us 9:25 a.m. And the end time for football is 11 a.m., which lasted for 90 minutes. So we say end time take away duration. 90 minutes is an hour and a half, and we will get the start time. So we know 0 cannot take away 30, so we borrow from the hour, we bring across 60 minutes, so 60 plus 0 is 60, and then minus 30 is 30. 10 take away 1 is 9. So 9:30 for C. Last question. So for parking, we have $5 per hour or any part of an hour. Any part thereof simply means that if you park for 15 minutes, you still have to pay for the hour. Half an hour, you still have to pay for the hour. 45 minutes, you still have to pay for the hour. So if you park for a whole hour or part of the hour, you still have to pay the $5 rate. So let's determine from 10 a.m. to 1:30 how much time is spent. From 10 a.m. to 12, that's easy, that's 2 hours. 12 to 1:30, that's an hour and a half. So that's a total of 3.5 hours. But we have to count this half hour as 1 hour because it's going to be paid for 1 hour. So we basically approximate the time up. So 3.5 is approximately equal to 4 hours. So 4 hours at $5 per hour means 5 times 4 is $20.
Thank you for watching. If you have found this video to be helpful, please feel free to contact us for more information about our classes.